Oh no. Anyway, rumor, not confirmed, grain of salt, bag of salt, entire, very large ocean, maybe a very small ocean. Some of them are not as big as the others, but either way, just a rumor. It's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. No, Doctor Who will be on pause until 2027 while the BBC regroups. Doctor Who's future has been hotly contested topic in recent days, with rumors swirling about Nikita Katwa and Russell T Davies potentially leaving the show. Now it's being reported that there will be a pause in production until 2027, but all the next season is nearly written already. The internet is more abuzz with speculation about what's going to happen with the next Doctor Who, next than the current iteration of the show. But all markers point to Disney Plus era being dead because of what are you talking about? 2 million views or viewers? I mean, in a day and age of streaming services and being able to watch it on TV, 2 million, that's an amazing number. I mean, fuck David Tennant's 11 million back in like 2005 when there was only TV. You know, there was no streaming service. That 11 million, fuck that. No, 2 million. This show's extremely popular, man. Extremely fucking popular. Fans have abandoned any talk about current plot lines, even as there are 3 episodes left to go before it fully goes off the air. Has the one who waits even popped up? You know, the master, or not the master, the toy maker brought it up. The freaking maestro or whatever the fuck their name was brought it up. The one who waits is coming. Has the one who waits even popped up yet, or is it going to be one of those fucking plot lines that just never happen? The hybrid. Um, it feels like this season of Doctor Who is the equivalent of a lame duck presidency where nothing's going to get accomplished because elections are just around the corner. And what's been on fans' minds is how to right the ship from what's been an objective disaster for the show. Also, yeah, I saw this. Insane Doctor Who rumor. Billy Piper will be the next brought in as the next the doc yeah. No. I love Billy Piper. One of the Billy Piper as Rose, one of the greatest companions of all time, not just in Doctor Who, but one of the best written characters of all time. I don't want to see her as a doctor. She's already been Rose. I don't want to see her as a doctor. And that goes for anyone else. I mean, Donna has kind of already been the doctor for a very, 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 very short time when she absorbed all the time energy and all that. And she basically became Dr. Donna. I don't want to see Martha come back as a doctor. You want to know who? No. Bill Potts. Speaking of Bill Potts, did you know? Now, spoiler alert, because I know this is incredibly just insane news, I'm sure, for a lot of you guys. Did you know Bill Potts was gay? Scandalous. I know. You guys are sitting there, you were like blown back physically from that information. Blown back. Like, woof. What? Bill Potts. She was gay? I know, the whole time. Because the show never clarified that she was gay. Ever. Even, you know, when she was flirty with what's her name, Heather, or whatever the fucking liquid girl's name was, there was no indications whatsoever that Bill Potts was gay. Ever. But she was. Whew. Mind blown, right? But yeah. Rose, Billy Piper, gorgeous woman, great actress. I don't want to see her as a doctor. I would love to see her return as Rose. Would not want to see her as a doctor at all. The first era season of Doctor Who, the first season of the Disney Plus era was marred by with extreme leftist ideology. Yeah, prioritize his ham fist. It's not the only thing that likes to be fisted. Agenda over the show itself, stating trans rights are far more important to him than Doctor Who at San Diego Comic-Con in 2024. This latest season has seemed to be even more reactionary, with many of the plot points being attacks on critics and fans who don't like the direct. Yeah, you know, because that's a way to win people over, by writing attacks against the fans into the show, because that'll totally win people back. Russell, come here. You gotta level with me here, buddy. And I ask you a question, and this is for scientific purposes. This needs to be studied by professionals, because this is just truly is an astonishing case here. But you write attacks against fans and critics into the show, most likely thinking that you're doing something great, and it just pushes more people away. So you're doing this, and the question is, are you fucking stupid? Again, for scientific purposes, are you, in fact, Russell T Davies, fucking stupid? Because nothing will get fans on your side more than attacking them in the show. You know, Twitter and all that other crap, that's one thing. But going out of your way to write attacks against the fans and critics into the show itself, are you fucking stupid? Again, for scientific purposes, we need to be able to study you. So please answer openly and honestly. There's no judgment here. We just want to do it for scientific purposes. So, are you, Russell T Davies, fucking stupid? It's made easy for people who tune out, as there isn't much to latch onto. Like a tiny nipple. And Ikudigawa's doctor feels nothing like that. Yeah. Yeah, this dude apparently, like, fucking cries all the time, and then leaves his companions to do things that the doctor would never do, like to go make out with other guys. Remember when, like, David Tennant and Matt Smith would leave their companions to go make out with people? Those were oh wait, they never did. Remember when Peter Capaldi? No, he never did either. Remember when Tom Baker didn't do it. You know who would and who did? William Hartnell didn't do it either. That man was a stud, though. He could have left, and everyone would have been like, nope, Grandpa's gone to get some. He needs to get his noodle wet. Been a long time. What about Christopher? No, Eccleston. No. Can't think of a moment where the doctor was honestly, truly that selfish. This all started in Jodie Whittaker's era, having her as just a selfish fucking doctor. And now it's Karen, because that's the people who continue to watch it. That's them. That's the kind of people that they are. They like see themselves in this doctor. He's selfish. He's way too emotional, which you shouldn't be. Being emotional and everything, that's one thing. But this dude fucking cries all the time. But when the doctor cries, it's supposed to be an emotional thing, because he's gone through so much and he holds in that pain constantly. This is a man who wiped out his entire fucking planet. He never really shows emotion. So when he does cry or show emotion, it's supposed to hurt, because you know what he's been through. If you have some fucking idiot like this who is just constantly, every episode, it takes away from the emotional baggage that the doctor has. Whenever you saw David Tennant, with him having to say goodbye to Rose, and he's about to say, when they're on the beach, and he's just the image, and he's about to give her his message, and the image cuts out, the cry. It's so impactful, because this is a man who doesn't show his emotions. Peter Capaldi, one of the greatest doctors, if not the greatest. The man who embodied every doctor before him. With Clara, you know, with Face the Raven, when he's talking to her and, you know, she's ready to go out there and kind of sacrifice herself. The emotion. It's Peter Capaldi. He's the grumpy old doctor, and yet he got emotional, and it was so impactful because you don't see him like that. If you have a doctor who's just all the time, that's not the doctor. That's not the doctor. Like, remember all the crying that Christopher Eccleston or Matt Smith did? No, they didn't. Like, Matt Smith cried when, you know, Amy and Rory died. Whenever something emotional actually happens, but like every episode. Although new iteration of the Doctor has been greenlit, we've had insiders report that Nikudigawa's regeneration scene was filmed, and then it's being tacked on to the end of Disney Plus's run, with Gawa no longer wanting to play the Doctor. Good. There's also been rumors that Russell T Davies will be leaving the show as well. Good. We were all happy when we heard that he was returning, but then we were like, wait a minute. Current day. This man was able to write. I love being disturbed. All I have. Nothing better than group chats for work. And I have no choice. I have to be in it, so I don't reply with anything. I just hear the phone buzzing back there, and but yeah, we remembered. We're like, oh boy, Russell T Davies. We're gonna get some great stories again, and then we're like, wait a minute, no. Current day, what was good writing back then, what he could do back then, he's not gonna do now, and we were right. We were right again, because back then he could have political messages but make a great story where you forgot that there was a message. So for people like us, the far-right MAGA extremists, even though there was no MAGA at the time, we could enjoy the show even if we didn't agree with the message. Nowadays, nope, can't do that. Message in your face. No entertainment, no cleverness, no subtlety, nothing. In your face. Constantly. And when people are wanting to watch a show about an alien who flies through time and space in a police box, the first thing we think of is, oh man, I can't wait to have political messaging shoved down my throat. Like a big fucking cock. Like, we just sit here waiting. We're just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I mean, someone did say about, I said I like to get people on their toes and all that sometimes. But no one expected to see that today. Oh, I need a new hobby. um, However, the Mirror has reported that Russell T Davies has already completely written a next season of the show, along with drafting stories. You mean daft stories? And for the season after that, none of this has been greenlit, as it's been stated several times that they are waiting to see what happens at the end of Gatwa season 2 before making any decisions. But the Mirror's reporting is in line with that Davies has said about what Davies has said about planning shows into the future. Well, maybe someone else can take them over, because honestly, I don't want Davies there anymore. The Mirror also reports that they are bracing for Disney to pull. Oh god. It's like the real thing. They're bracing for Disney to pull out. And not be a part of the deal going forward. And that Disney is responsible for about 10 million euros per episode in funding. But most of that is because they are taking the pulling out and taking the BBC. God. Taking the BBC standards of 2K for picture quality and imaging and upsizing it to 4K for their platform. There's I'm so childish sometimes. There are sources quoted as saying, when the Doctor Who began its partnership with Disney Plus, there was additional funding put in place. Doctor Who is an expensive show to make, with its effects budgets taking up a significant part of overall spending. I mean, maybe nowadays, I guess, because it's definitely more cinematic than it was back in the day. But I'm sorry, that line right there, the effects budget, that made me laugh. That made me almost want to freeze a laugh. Oh. So Disney withdraw its fundings, and there wouldn't be as significant as an impact on production as some fans may think. The TARDIS set is still standing in Cardiff, all ready to go on new adventures. Their insider also said there's likely to be a big pause in the show, with no Doctor Who airing next year, and there wouldn't be picking back up until 2027. If this is the case, it could give time for the BBC to find new talent to replace the current iteration, and hopefully get the sour taste out of fan's mouths from the current show. However, if they do double down on keeping Davies in company, we could see another disaster in Doctor Who in the future. There are already rumors they're intent on casting another female Doctor. Again, I love Rose Tyler, one of the best companions ever. She's smart, she's beautiful, she's fierce. Don't want to see Billie Piper as a Doctor. I don't. Like, if they've already been a companion, I don't think they should be the Doctor. Now, you have instances like Peter Capaldi, where he was in The Fires of Pompeii with David Tennant. Great episode. One of my favorite episodes. He was also in another episode, but it wasn't really like a companion kind of thing. So, and really, I think it was shown in the show why Peter Capaldi, because he was like the one thing he wants to know when he first regenerated is like, why this face? Why do I look like this? And then he remembers the moment where he helped out the family in Pompeii, who was, like I said, the guy was played by Peter Capaldi, and that's why he chose that face, because it reminded him he's the Doctor and that he saves people, and that's why he chose the face that he did. But it was a really, like, also, if you remember that episode, the impact that hit in the fucking gut when he's wondering why he chose this face, and he remembers why, and he sees it flashes back to the fires of Pompeii, and Donna begging the Doctor, like, just save someone. And the Doctor ends up going back, and he steps out of the TARDIS. He's like, come with me. And he rescues the family that was just so nice and showing him hospitality and kindness. That is why he chose the face. And it's like, oh God, that is so good. That is so fucking good. But as for a companion, it's like Rory. I wouldn't want to see Rory as the Doctor. The actor, what is his name? Arthur, whatever. I wouldn't want to see him as a Doctor. I wouldn't. Now seeing Jack, good old Captain Jack, he's the companion, but not a companion. I think River Song, if they were to make the show just around her, that would be amazing. I love River Song. Alex Kingston, gorgeous, great actress. I would love to see them somehow work Missy back into the show. I like Michelle Gomez as Missy, the Master. I loved her. People were like, "Oh my God, they made the Master female." And then you see how amazing this woman was, and that every scene she was in, she stole the fucking scene with her charm, charisma, her act. Everything about this woman just drew you in. Even if the scene was boring, she could have just sat there and just like, and maybe like, tipped her hat a little bit to the side, and she would have stole the scene because Michelle Gomez was that good. I would love to see Missy come back. Um, but as for like someone like Billy Piper, I don't want to, or Rory, or what's her face? Oh my God, the chick who plays Amy, her, forgot her name, but any of the other companions, I don't want to see that. But it just someone new, just pick someone new, because they try this whole nostalgia bait thing, like, oh my God, guys, guess what? David Tennant's coming back as the Doctor, and look what happened. It failed. The 60th anniversary failed. It was supposed. I mean, David Tennant, um, Catherine Tate, and Neil Patrick Harris. How could you mess this up? And yet they somehow managed to do it. So, you know. However, they do double down on Kimmy Davies and company. There's a rumor female doctor. So, in longer pause could be a good thing to get all of the people involved into decision making for the brand replaced. So, is there any? Nope, no comments yet. But yeah, if it takes, of course, again, it's a rumor, but if it was, I don't think anyone cares anymore. I don't think anyone really cares. Maybe I really think they do need time to reevaluate what's important to them, the message or entertaining people. Because clearly they're choosing the message. It's okay to have a message, but if you're sacrificing the entertainment part of it to push that message, you're doing it wrong. Russell T Davies was able to have a political message about whatever, about climate change or abortion, guns, and this and that, but make it fun for people who may have had different views. Nowadays, it's just in your face. And people are just kind of tired of it. So, if it takes a little hiatus, whatever. Whatever. Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.